All right, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Huckes. This is your Best Life Defined. Happy Monday. I use the word happy simply because you are where you are until you change it, and even when you can't change it, sometimes it just requires us to accept the fact that this is where we are. Right? I was sitting there thinking I did 365 on my last podcast, and I'm kind of there's the dump, the emotional dump from hitting a mark like that, and I'm thinking about it, and I was out walking around today, and I'm thinking about people, and there's a few guys along the way that I've met. Gary's one of them. He's a guy who does bicycles here in town. He gets old bicycles, renovates them, and then sells them. And he's Gary. Gary's had a better. I mean, he's had a rough life. He has. He's got some stuff going on health wise, and he's older, and he's probably struggling financially. And I'm looking at him, and I said good morning to him this morning, and we're talking. And as I'm sitting there talking, I'm thinking about there's a story behind every one of us. And I think sometimes when it comes to us finding value in our life or appreciating where we are in life, I think we often lose sight of that. You look at somebody like Gary, and he's definitely not even close to me. He's not. His life doesn't look anything like mine. I'm sitting there talking to him, and as nice as he is, you can kind of see the pain of life. We all carry it. There's a burden that comes from living. No one escapes the damage that life has to offer. I mean, even it doesn't matter who it is. You can have all the money in the world. You can be loved and have two parents that stay together their entire lives. You can have what appear to be wonderful siblings and want for nothing, and somehow or another, life manages to hand us pain. The biggest pain, my biggest pain was the day my dad died. I mean, it was devastating. I never imagined that I'd be able to talk about him without tearing up. And here I am today, and I'm like, and it's partly because you have to take that pain, and what I did was I channeled it into something better. And I think when we face pain, when we face struggle in our life, it takes two forms. It's either the reason we fail to take action and to grow and to prosper in life, or it's the reason that we do. And I think for me, the reason that I'm sitting where I am right now is because I chose to face that pain from a positive light. I decided to step out of the darkness and being angry, and I realized how vulnerable life is, how fleeting it is, how no matter how much time we have, it's never enough. And I turned that into a positive. I said, you know what? I'm going to change who I am. I'm going to face that pain, and I'm going to use the pain and the energy, that negative energy and that heartbreak and that sorrow, and I'm going to turn it into something better. I owe it to myself. I owe it to my dad and to his legacy to be a better man than I was, right? To have a bigger impact on this thing called life, right? I think in the end, that's where our success comes from. That's where our ability to grow and prosper and to find inspiration within ourselves and within the life we live comes from. But it starts with facing it. It starts with facing how you feel about it. I used to be shelled off. I was walled off. When emotionally, my wife, I could be broken down inside, and Sandy would ask me, what's the matter? Everything okay? Yep, I'm fine. I'm fine. I could be filled with doubt, filled with hurt, and I would still wall up and just stand strong, especially us guys. Guys, we're warriors. We're knights on the white horse, as Brene Brown says. Yeah, you can't see it. Don't be seeing a flaw in my armor, right? And it freaks people out. But in order for us to heal, in order for us to get our life on a better path to where we can find inspiration to move forward in a direction because of our pain, we have to face that pain. I did. It took me a while. It took a lot of alcohol. I used a lot of alcohol to numb the pain of saying goodbye to my dad, of realizing that when I drive home from work, I couldn't call him anymore. Realizing that when I pull in the yard, he's not going to be sitting under that patio drinking cold beer waiting on me. so he can give me crap about whatever thing I didn't do, right? Because that was my dad's job. He's like, oh, I don't know why you didn't turn the water on last night. Not that my dad sounds like that, but that's my impression of him. Sandy hates it. Pain's a part of life. Pain's a part of life. COVID-19, prime example. I thank the Lord every day that it hasn't touched me personally. But I know there are people in this world right now that they're just consumed by the pain of loss. And what happens is we have two choices we can make in those instances. We can allow that pain to crush us. We can let that pain push us into a deep, dark hole where we can't climb out. Or we can take the power of that pain and we can turn it into something good. We can turn it into a positive that makes our life better as a result of the tragedy we went through. And what's funny is sometimes it's within the tragedies that the biggest blessings occur. I never imagined this would be me in 2021. 2011, I was still pissed off and angry. 2011, my solution to everything was anger and bowing up, challenge everybody, walled off, no emotion, no, I'm fine. The biggest gift my dad gave me with his passing was the reality that if I didn't change something in my life, I was going to die miserable, angry, and alone. Because Sandy and I were better. We were kind of getting there, but we still weren't there. And that pain that I felt when I said goodbye to my dad, it could have destroyed us. And the ticket here is pain is still energy. Pain is still energy. Granted, it hurts like hell. It makes you want to be any place but there. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you doubt the meaning of life. It makes you doubt the world. It makes you doubt the kindness of the world, the purpose, right? But you can let it crush you. You can let it define you from that standpoint to where you retreat into your vices. You retreat away from life and the opportunities that come with every day that we have to live, right? Or you can grab a hold of it and you can face it. You can say, yes, this happened to me, but this does not define me. This happened to me, but this will not set the course of my life because of it. And if it does set the course of my life, I will choose to do something with it that makes my life better, that makes my life more valuable, that adds more inspiration to my life. It's funny, I used to run around in a rush. I'd be a conversation. My dad was a prime example. I'd have a conversation with my father, and I could feel this urgency to do something else. In fact, I would, you got something to say, and I don't do that anymore. In fact, I was thinking when I was getting ready to do this podcast, I'm sitting there thinking I'm casual. My Sandy, she's getting ready to go do some stuff, and she's kind of thinking maybe I'm in a hurry. I'm like, oh, no, take your time. Not in a rush. We can talk. And I can embrace the moments that we have. Embrace the opportunity to look at my wife's face and realize there's going to come a day when she's not there anymore, or maybe I'm not there anymore. It's the scariest thing I will ever face, is saying goodbye to her. And one of us is going to have to face that. One of us is going to have to face that. And on the other side of it, we're going to have to be able to do something with it. Do something good with it. Life's hard. There's no doubt. I look around, and I guess that's part of the reason that I'm so inspired to continue to show up. And I can't resist talking to people and asking about their lives and asking them how they're doing. Because we don't do that. We're not doing that like we should. It's a personal thing. It's a communication thing. It's a love thing. It's about appreciating the value of people, not because they're related to you or because you know them, but because in the end, they face the same thing you do. They're going to face pain in their life. They're going to face struggle in their life. They're going to question themselves. They're going to doubt themselves. They're not going to be good enough. We can't control what life hands us. And there are tragedies. Tragedies occur every day. I'm watching it play out in the news right now. the struggles we have nationally with law enforcement and the whole Black Lives Matter and just this whole scenario. And I'm not going to get into the details, but the point is there is a lot of pain on both sides of that. And it's people like you and me who are enduring that pain. And when life hands you that, when life kicks you in the stomach with that unexpected tragedy, you get two choices. You have two choices. You can allow it to crush you. You can allow it to define you and push you into the bottle, push you into addiction, push you into giving up. Or you can take that energy and you can say, no, you know what? This is the reason we need to live a better life. This is the reason we need to not allow ourselves to do the things we've done. This is the reason we can't afford to waste these precious moments. Sitting at the campground, everybody's looking at their phone. When the people that you love are surrounded, they are right around you and you have the opportunity to share stories, to get to know each other, to spend time with each other, because it's going to end. No one gets out of this alive, right? But if you're facing struggle right now and you're not moving forward in a positive direction, part of that is because you haven't defined that. Part of that is because it hurts. Part of it's because it's hard to wake up and be motivated when it feels like the entire world is sitting on your shoulders, right? But there's inspiration in that. There is inspiration in knowing that, yes, you will come through this and you'll be fine. The other thing that we have to consider when we talk about the pain that life hands us, the struggle and the heartache that life hands us, is the fact that if you don't face your pain and put it behind you, it never gets behind you. It always becomes part of your current life, your current existence. And how do you get past it if you keep looking at it? And if you're not looking at it in a positive light, how is your life going to get better? I don't know. I don't know exactly where this podcast is going. I don't know where this subject is going. All I know is that I faced a lot of pain in my life. The biggest heartache I've ever experienced is the day I said goodbye to my dad. And I'm not sure what happened in those months that followed, but there was a time there, almost in limbo, where I thought, man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. And I look at my wife and I look at my family, my kids, look at all I've worked for, and more than I looked at all that my dad had taught me. And the one thing I could say about my dad was he loved life. I didn't let it crush me. I took the high road. I decided, you know what? This is the reason. This hate, this heartache and anger for why life was so unfair that they took my dad before I was ready. I turned it into a positive, and I said, I am not going to make the mistake that down that path that I was going to take. Because I could be sitting right now drinking and angry, retired and overweight and unmotivated and uninspired. My dad's death was a turning point for me. He gave me a boost of energy, and it gave me a new renewed value for what it means to be alive, what it means to wake up every day and cherish the moments that we have. So, I don't know, probably a little more touchy-feely than most people are used to, but the reality is this. We're all broken. We're all broken. We've all faced our struggles and our losses in our life, and we're all faced with issues of inadequacy and not good enough. But just like pain, don't let those issues define you to push you into a pit. Don't let those issues push you down. Use that energy and defy those feelings and say, yes, this has happened to me. It is true, and I'm going to take what it's done for me, and I'm going to build something from it. I'm going to be better because of it. And it all starts with facing it. It starts with being honest with yourself about it and saying, you know what? It happened, but it doesn't define me. So I don't know, just one of those ideas. I hope that my goal, it's Monday. Maybe Monday going to work is your pain. Kind of on a smaller scale. Face it. Build some energy from it. If you hate that job, if you hate where you're at in life, Use it as energy to do something positive because it's always there. There's always one more way to make your life better. So I hope you'll take my advice. More than that, I hope that you wake up and you're energized in your own life, that you don't have to show up here every day and listen to my noise because you've figured it out, because you've figured out that no matter where you are, there is one more way to make your life better. So keep that in mind. Let's not forget the kindness. And as always, just remember today's your day. Make it a good one.